So, does this sound like you? You've been scrolling through YouTube, going down the cigar box guitar rabbit hole, and you think to yourself, man, I wish I could build one of these amazing looking instruments, but you don't have a shop or you don't have all the crazy power tools or anything like that. Well, this video is for you guys, because today I'm going to show you how to go from this to this. Let's get started. So today I am really excited because I'm getting to show oh man, I'm so excited I can't even talk, y'all. But anyways, I am so excited to bring to you guys a brand new cigar box guitar, well, cigar box guitar kit that I've came up with for you guys who don't have a whole lot of space, you don't have a shop, but you want to get into building cigar box guitars. This is going to be the CF Fretless Slider cigar box guitar kit, and I made it so this kit is super easy, super friendly to anybody who wants to get into building cigar box guitars. You just follow along with this video and get this kit over on eBay, and yeah, you will be playing your very own hand-built cigar box guitar in no time. So let's go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, let's go over the things that you may need for this build. You may want to have a screwdriver, you want to have an adjustable wrench, and maybe some kind of clip to clip your guitar strings. But other than that, that is really it, guys. 3 simple tools that you probably have laying around is all you're really going to need for this build, and maybe a guitar tuner, but we'll get to that later. Next thing you're going to want to do is lay out all your parts on a flat surface, a table or anything like that. And yeah, so we have a cigar box guitar neck, we have the body, and we have all the existing hardware pickups, and of course guitar strings. And this kit comes with a free guitar slide, so that way you can play your fretless slider cigar box guitar. Alright, so for step 1, you're going to need the guitar neck and the body, and we are just going to open the lid up, and as you can see in here, I've already done all the bracing and everything. So you just want to slide your guitar neck in and then close her up just like that, and then you're going to flip the cigar box guitar up, and you want to make sure the neck is straight. So if you just want to kind of sight down it, make sure the neck is straight, or if you have a right angle carpenter's tool or anything like that, to make sure you have that 90 degrees on either side of the neck. That's also something you can do too. But you're going to need that. You're going to need 2 of the wood screws, and then you're also going to need 2 of the little finishing washers. And super easy, we're just going to take those, and then of course you want your screwdriver, just your standard Phillips head screwdriver, and we're just going to go ahead and attach the neck. And be sure not to over tighten this, because you do not want the screws going through the box. Trust me, had that go before. But you just want to take your time. I don't recommend using any drills. Just like I said, you definitely don't want to drive the screw completely through the box, but you just want to get it, you know, fairly tight. And then, like I said, we want to check, make sure our neck hasn't shifted on us. It's shifted on me just a little bit, and you want that neck perfectly straight. So like I said, if you need to use a right angle carpenter's tool, if you have one laying around, that's perfect for that. And next up, we're just going to take our other screw and our little finishing washer and screw her down. Simple as that. Now, I designed this cigar box guitar with DIY in mind because I wanted you guys to be able to build the cigar box guitar however you want it. So the neck is just a neck blank. You can either attach it just like I am or get super creative with it. If you want to use some sandpaper or if you got some files laying around and you want to shape the neck to however you like it, you can do that. You can shape this neck exactly how you want it. That is the fun part about building your own cigar box guitar. So I left that up to you guys. So you can file it, sand it, leave it as is. You can stain it, you can paint it. It is really just up to you guys. I wanted it to be super customizable, so I left that up to you guys. So that is the first step done. All right, next up, we're going to be opening up the box just as is. And we're going to be installing the piezo pickup. So this is a really cool piezo pickup. It actually came out of a fire alarm. And this thing sounds so good. Man, I was just surprised at the tone that you can get out of this thing. But there is a slot, if you notice, right here for where the piezo pickup's gonna sit. I'm just gonna pop it in there. It fits pretty snugly, but you may want to take a little bit of glue just to make sure it's nice and secure. And then you're gonna take the little nut off of here, and there's also a washer on the jack. And right over here you'll see that I've already made a little notch right here where the jack is going to go. So you just take that and of course put your little washer on there, and then the nut, and this is where that adjustable wrench comes in handy. And like I said, for some reason the only wrench that I could find in my entire shop was this really really like, you don't need one this big but you're gonna want something just so you can tighten this nut down. This is like not the right tool for this, but you get the idea. Just take you a wrench so you can tighten this up here. And be careful with these wires. I like to kind of hold on the back here while I tighten this up, so that way you don't end up twisting the wires and accidentally breaking them, because then you get to do some more DIY and figure out how to resolder, which is not fun. So I just take my time, be careful, make sure these wires are still on there nice and secure. And yeah, now you have an electric fretless slider cigar box guitar. All right, now that we have our neck secured, our pickup in place, we just get to shut the lid here. And just like attaching the box, you're going to grab the two long wood screws, and of course you have two finishing washers to go along with it. And in each little corner down at the bottom here, you'll see that I already pre-drilled so you can affix the lid. And so you're just going to take both those, and simple enough, you're just going to get those started and take your standard Phillips head screwdriver and screw her down. Again, be super careful. You can, even hand tightening, you can accidentally over tighten. And yeah, you definitely don't want to over tighten and have the screws go through the box or the washer. So just, snug it up. It doesn't have to be super tight. And like I said, I don't recommend using a drill. I know it makes it go faster, and as guys, we like it when stuff goes fast, but just take your time. This is fun. Part of building your cigar box guitar is putting it all together. And just like the neck, man, I chose this Arturo Fuentes box because they're kind of in the cigar box guitar world, they're the box that you kind of see all the time. And it's super easy to take this box and customize it however you want. You could sand it down to the wood. It's also got really, really pretty wood grain. If you wanted to sand it down to the different wood grains and make like a sunburst effect. But this is just a blank canvas for you guys. So like I said, if you like the way it looks, leave it as is. It'll play just fine and sound fantastic. But you can take this thing, carve the neck, stain it, paint it, do whatever you want to make it your own, guys. That's what I wanted, was something super easy for the guys who wanted to get into cigar box guitar building, but they didn't want to spend a whole lot of money to buy a pre-made cigar box guitar, and maybe they don't have a whole lot of tools or the space. This is the perfect kit for those guys to get into building and playing cigar box guitars. All right, so next up, I'm going to flip this around so you guys can see. We're actually going to be affixing the tailpiece. And just like the neck, it's super easy. I already pre-drilled the holes for you guys. So you will just take the two shorter screws, wood screws here, and we're just going to go ahead and get those started. So just line up the holes here, and then get the other one started. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do this blind so you have the best angle. So you're just gonna get those started. Take your standard screwdriver and yeah, just screw them down. And like I said, I know I keep repeating myself, but take your time. You definitely don't want to damage the box. That's why I pre-drilled everything for you guys, so it's super easy and you don't have to worry about accidentally drilling too far or messing up the box. And just like that, just snug her down. And they won't get super tight, but just snug it down till it's snug. And there you go. We got the cabinet hinge tailpiece attached. So next step is we're literally at the finishing stages. So what you want to do, and I'll kind of flip this around again, is you will find a bolt in your kit, and this is actually going to act as your nut. I've already pre-slotted it for you guys, so you can lay this in here, or if you want it to be a little bit more permanent, you can take yourself some glue and just glue this down in there, so that way it stays there, but it fits snug and the strings will hold it down, so you don't have to if you don't want to. Just something to think about. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to be putting the saddle on the box. So you want to put your bolt nut down there and then this pre-cut saddle. So now what you want to do, and this is probably the most important step of the part. So another tool you may want to have on hand is a tape measure, which I need to find mine. Here it is right here. So this is going to be a 23-inch scale guitar. So what that means is from the bolt down here, that's our nut, we want to measure out 23 inches. So at the bottom of this bolt, all the way to the box, and I'll kind of move it so y'all can see a bit, it needs to be around 23. So you want to take a pencil or something that's not permanent, and you want to line this saddle up and then slightly angle it just for right now. And that is where the saddle needs to sit so the intonation is right. Once we have our saddle location, and like I said, if you mark it with a pencil, we can kind of adjust it a little bit more later, but you just kind of want a general idea. It needs to be 23 inches from the bolt to where the saddle sits on the cigar box guitar. So let's go ahead and move on to the last and final step, putting the strings on. So I provided this little rod, which is going to be your string catch. So what I like to do is you're going to take your strings that come in your kit and you want to lay them out. If you can look and kind of feel, the thickest string is going to go at the top of the cigar box. So if you're sitting here holding the cigar box guitar like I have it, the thickest string is going to go in this first hole, and then it's going to go from thickest to thinnest. So the middle hole will have your medium gauge string, and the furthest hole will have the thinnest string. So you want to lay your strings out and get them ready. And just like that. So, and I kind of take them and lay them out. So make sure I have the right thickness. And you can, it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but in person you can tell by looking and feeling which strings are thicker. And then once you get them unwound here, they don't come back and try and whack you in the face. Oh Lord. Okay, so there's the next one, and then of course the last one, and I think this is actually the middle string. Yeah, this one actually looks like the middle string. Yep. So once you kind of get these unraveled, you want to lay them out, and then you're going to see these little itty bitty eyes on the end. You're going to actually take this little rod and you're going to feed it. So the strings are actually going to have this backwards actually. So, but the strings are going to go through this way. And then you're going to take this rod and you're going to feed it through just like that. And then of course you're going to take your next thickest string, going from top to bottom. You're going to take the next string and feed it through. So I like to come in from the back side here, just like that. And then you're going to stick that onto the rod. And then of course your thinnest string is going to be last. And that's going to go in our last bottom hole right there. And then once you have that stringed on there, you want to pull it tight. And then you're going to flip the strings back over like this. So I'm going to go ahead and swap you down to the other side so I can show you how we affix the strings to the tuning pegs. All right, so we're going to start with our thickest string. And as you see, these tuning pegs have an itty bitty hole. So you want to line that hole up facing this way down the neck. And this is where this becomes really important. So on cigar box guitars, you want to have what is called straight string pull. So I'm going to insert the string, and these strings have already been pre-cut. So your strings that you get in the kit may be longer, so you may have to trim off the excess. But you're going to feed in the string this way, and since we want straight string pull, we actually want this first tuning peg, we're going to be turning it to the right clockwise, so that way we get straight string pull, and I'll show y'all that afterwards. So you kind of just want to keep some tension on the string as you're twisting it, and this having a little tuning key tool helps with this, but you don't need one. Just kind of keep hold of the string like I'm doing here, and then press down just a little bit so you make a nice little coil. And you're just going to keep on doing that until it gets tight. And then you want to kind of adjust it on the bolt nut here, where you have the straightest string pull that you can. And I'll show you once we get all the strings on there what I'm talking about on that straight string pull. Again, your little saddle down here may move. It's okay. You just want to make sure you kind of get in that general 23-inch mark. And then we'll fine tune it here in a minute. So once we got it, tight enough, we can go ahead and move on to the next string, which will be the middle string. Now this one, to keep the straight string pull, same deal. We're going to line that itty bitty hole up until it's facing straight down the guitar. And then take our string. Like I said, these are pre-cut, so the ones that you get, they will more than likely you will have fresh strings. So you're just gonna feed it through that little hole. Now this one, since we want straight string pull, and it's gonna be in the middle of the cigar box guitar, we're actually gonna turn it counterclockwise. Same deal, just keeping some tension on the string. If you have a little string winding tool, great. If not, just kind of keep it held down and then press down on the string just a little bit. So that way we start getting that nice coil around our tuning peg here. And then you're just going to keep tightening this down until it starts getting tight. You don't have to tighten it crazy tight, but just till we start getting where we can actually pluck in the string here. And then to make sure we have good string pull, we want to make sure that this is going to be in the center of this bolt here as good as you can. And like I said, I will kind of show y'all more in depth. And then next up is the last string, and just the same thing. We're going to line up that first initial hole. And since we want straight string pull, this one we're actually going to go back to clockwise. So, and normally I turn this, turn it around. So, oops, wrong way. Normally I turn it around, so that way it's a little bit easier to wind. But I'm trying to show you guys on the camera here, so bear with me. But yep, you just want to hold that string and then make sure you hold down a little bit and make sure you make those nice looking coils, because if you have nice winds on your guitar peg, the less likely you are to have slipping issues, and less likely you'll have issues with it falling in and out of tune. So this is great to make sure you take your time and get those nice winds on your guitar peg. And if you're trimming the string, you don't have to have a cajillion winds on your guitar string. Just enough to get you by. And then of course you want to move this on the bolt down here to make sure you have the straightest string pull. And the strings will kind of help you. They'll kind of tell you where they want to go. But it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. But if we look here at the strings, you can see how, for the most part, minus the middle string is always going to kind of vary, but you're going to have straight up and down string all the way from here to here. So that is the general idea. So once you got the strings on, all we got to do is tune it up, and then we can start tearing her up. So let's go ahead and move on to that. All right. So once you have your cigar box guitar strings on, we are going to actually tune it to open G tuning, which is going to be G, D, G. And you also want to stretch your guitar strings. To stretch the strings, once you have it tuned up, you want to take the string and kind of pull on it a little bit. This will help kind of tighten it up. And then you want to retune it again. And then once you've done that like 1-2 times, your string should be stretched out. And then again, we want to make sure it's 23 inches from the bolt to where the saddle is at, and you want to make sure you're in tune. Now, to tune up, there is a couple different ways. You can obviously buy a guitar tuner, a snark clip-on tuner, or like a cord plug-in tuner or anything like that, or you can actually use your phone and just type in the Google Play Store or App Store, whatever store you have, guitar tuner, and there's a bunch of good free guitar tuners on your phone. But I'll also let you tune to me. So this low string is going to be the G string, the low G string. And then the next string is going to be the D string in the middle. And then, of course, the high string is going to be your higher G string. And then once you have it tuned up, you should have a G chord. Now, the next thing we need to do is talk about the intonation. So, to find the intonation on your guitar, we want to come up here and lightly lay our finger. I'm not pressing down, I'm just lightly putting my finger until we hear that right there. That would be what we call the harmonics, and that would be on where the 12th fret would be if we were looking at like an actual fretted guitar. This would be the 12th fret. So what you want to do is make sure, once we find that, take you a little pencil or something, and then you want to mark that spot, so right here. And then take your slide and that should be where our first note would be found. So you can take a little pencil, mark it right there, and then use a pencil because while the strings are still stretching, it may shift around on you. But that's how you find your first note, is it'll be up here at the 12. And you can also use your tuner on your phone too. So if you're trying to find the G, you can use your tuner to find that note. And Del Puckett has an amazing video on this. I'll actually link that in the description below. He shows you exactly how to do this process. So you just basically want to go through here, and you're going to find the 12, take a little pencil, mark it. Then you're going to go to the next fret, and try and find the harmonics over here. And there we have our another. And then you can find some more harmonics. That's how you start finding the notes. And you also want to use your ear too. But like I said, Dale Puck has an amazing video on this, and I'll link it down in the description so you guys can go over there and mark the notes out on your fretless cigar box guitar. But anyways, guys, now that we have our cigar box guitar put together, I think it's about time that we play it. So I'm going to show it off a little bit. I'm going to play a little bit of slide guitar on it, and yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed this build, and I hope you guys really enjoy these fretless slider kits. They'll be available on my eBay page, and for super cheap for cigar box guitar kits. Like I said, I wanted to get these out to the guys who you know, just are getting into it, but they want to build their own and start learning about the process of building. This is for those guys, and even the guys who have been building for years for maybe just a fun little project. Like I said, it's already most of it comes pre-assembled, so it's super easy to get into. You don't need a whole lot of tools, but I made it where it's a blank canvas, so you can carve the neck, you can stain it, paint it. Same deal with the body. Just make it your own if you really want to, or like I said, it looks pretty good just as is, and it sounds really good too. So anyways, I'm gonna shut up and let's go ahead and get to the playing. Alright guys, there you have it, the brand new CF fretless slider cigar box guitar kit. What do you guys think about it? I am super excited to get it out to new builders, new players, and yeah, just get more and more people involved in building these awesome handmade instruments. But anyways, if you like the content, don't forget to like and consider subscribing and hit that bell notification. It really does help the channel out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.